just because it feels right. It doesn't have to feel nice. It shouldn't feel so empty when there's still me and you. Now that they have grown up, packed their bags and left us, how I wish that we could hold them, hoping that we told them to stay true. Oh, hold on. After all the things that we've been through, hold on. Hold on. Every time we look back, do we really need to backtrack? Every time that I fall down, you're the only one who's always there. Oh, hold on. After all the things that we've been through, hold on. Oh, hold on. It always just comes back to me and you. These are the hands of a tired man. I lost my shroud, now here I stand. The teenage mother had a plan. Her child has now become a man. You stop, you look, you try to find, then you'll finally realize. And when your dreams, they turn unreal, what you touch is what you feel. When all your demons go away, you fight to live another day. And all the things you didn't try, then you finally realize. Oh, hold on. It always just comes back to me and you. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
Do you have a notion when you might start gigging again?
No, until there's a vaccine, it's not gonna. I can't anyway, because I've all sorts of underlying. When you talk about people underlying conditions.
Yeah.
Poster boy.
They're not going to let 1,800 people into Vicar Street or the Olympia or whatever it is. They're not going to let them in there until there's a vaccine. So I think we were the first to be out, and we'll be the last ones to come back.
Yeah. It's weird because all my demons start coming up when I'm not gigging. They start kind of manifesting, because when I'm gigging, you couldn't get all that out of you,
Yeah.
When you're not gigging, it kind of starts building up. And
So what's your body missing?
It's just when you're gigging, all the little things you can't be in normal life. All the say you have a bit of effeminacy in it that you can't really display normally in normal life. When you're gigging, you can do all that, you know, because you've got that alter ego kind of thing. So if I don't have that to get all that out, it just builds up. I remember just a quick one. I was actually been in hospital for about a year. And then when I came in, this is when I got diagnosed, that's 7 years ago. So I was in a wheelchair now for a year. So we didn't gig for about 2 years. And you remember that child was found in the Mediterranean, come over. So I was looking at that on the news, and I started thinking about what I could have done with my life, And I said, you sang a few songs. What a wanker, What a waste of a life. Look all the good you could have done, in life. You sang a few songs. That's what you dedicated your life to. And I just got into this really, and it was only when I started gigging again that kind of lifted.
Because when you're gigging, you can see the value of it.
Yeah, exactly. Because you got people coming up to you saying, you see Crazy World, when I look at my child, that's why I think of that and it helps me. So those things, give you a value to it. Yeah, exactly.
It's a remarkable room.
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's my favourite gig in the world because no matter where you are, you have a great view of the band.
Yeah.
And when you've got that view of the band have that view of you as well, you know. Like we were playing here last Christmas, and a woman came. I got a note on stage. It was her 90th birthday. Now we've got 16, 15-year-olds all along the front of the stage, you know, going along with the songs. And this woman wanted to sing Happy Birthday towards her 90th birthday. So to get that spectrum of people is amazing, you know. Because when we were kids, my dad was into opera music, you know, so you kind of rejected anything your father was into, you know. But these kids are saying to us, you know, well, I listen because my dad listened to her. So it's amazing. And I don't know why that is, why people still kind of, you know, relate to the band as such. Because if we were to rely on our demographic, we'd starve to death, you know, because our demographic has stopped going to gigs.
On a normal year, how busy would you be?
Oh,
We gig maybe 4 times a week every year. Every year.
This time last year we were in the UK. We finished up in Glasgow on the 23rd of December. We did Manchester, London. We're your working band. Do you know what I mean? We rely on the gigs to pay the bills, to keep everything going. You know, so if we don't gig, we don't pay the bills. So we are constantly working. And for us not to have worked in 9 months, the last time this happened was when Christy was sick. So it's that situation again, you know, so we don't. The thing that's killing us is it's not knowing when we're back. The 2 songs that we're performing in Vicar Street as part of this show, we've never played live before. So you're talking about keeping it fresh. We're putting ourselves under a little bit of pressure. The last single, Hold On, which we released during the pandemic, we haven't played that live. So that's going to be a buzz.
But that keeps you on your toes.
Yeah,
you know,
there's another song called I'm On Your Side, which is an album track, which we've never played live. So coming to play these songs in Vicar Street is keeping us on our toes. Yeah. Because we there's no rehearsals. We'll be at home learning them, and we'll come together as the band and we'll do them, you know.
And because you're not earning from the road, when does the money run out?
Well, it's starting to get tight now because we had money. So we've always had money for recording and stuff. So we always have a few bob put away, but that's gone now. And you know, there's a load of grants and stuff. So we didn't get any of them. I don't know why. I mean, if we don't qualify for the grants, I don't know who does.
I just want you to know, I want you to know you'll be okay, you'll be alright. I just want you to know, I want you to know you'll be just fine. Don't lose your sight, don't let go. Don't give up on who you are or who you want to be. Don't let go. Don't give up on who you are or who you want to be. Be wish you joy, I wish you peace, I wish you everything you want and need. I know it gets hard sometimes when you can think or unwind and your mind gets stuck in time. I wish you joy, I wish you peace, I wish you everything you want and need. I know it gets hard sometimes when you can think or unwind and your mind gets stuck. Don't let go. Don't give up on who you are or who you want to be. Don't let go, no, no, no. Don't give up on who you are or who you want to be. Because you got it all. You got it all. You got it all. Don't give up, no, no. You got it all. 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 I got it all. And you got it all too. Don't let go.
I've been working this whole ground. How long, I don't know. Planting here and over there, trying to make stuff grow. Always in a wishful state of mind, waiting for my harvest moon to shine. All the right intentions, but my timing ends up wrong. Near that old universe, singing the same song. Mostly I'm just howling out of tune. Up at someone else's harvest moon. Hey, Mother Nature, why can't we be friends? Lately all your stars are out of line. Say next year will be my harvest time. Yeah. Work all day till leaving time. Try every trick I know. Up and down, back and forth, no one left to go. Friends say I'm a fool to keep on trying. Some folks just be not the farming kind. this time.
I was just thinking before we got talking that that image of living with two traditions
Yeah.
in the north is something that you have kept up in your professional career, in that you're in the folk and also in the whatever the rock and pop world is called as well.
Well, I'm a reasonable rarity in that regard, that I sort of call it being multilingual musically. You know, I was sort of fluent in rock and country and pop and jazz. I loved jazz before I really kind of dipped my toe in the trad pool at all. You know, I was, when I was at college in Dublin, I came to college in '64 at UCD. I was in 3 rhythm and blues bands over my time in college, singing covers of Ike and Tina Turner and Ray Charles and James Brown and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And I hadn't even heard folk music at that stage, you know. I took it for granted that I was able to immerse myself in trad music as if I'd been there all my life, you know. Other people thought it strange, and I suppose it was a bit strange.
Yeah.
But you know,
was there a thing of earnings, like say after, I can't remember the name, was it Back to the Centre?
that was a mid '80s album, yeah.
And did the one of the Island come after that?
Well, the album was on that album.
Was on that album. So that would have been a massive popular cultural moment.
Well, it was a slow burner of the Island, you know.
But I remember as a young fella in school that album being part, in the same way that, you know, Sade, Prefab Sprout.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's funny. I've noticed this in my career, like, you know, every second album kind of hit the spot of that generation.
Yeah.
And then the one after it, you know, I mean, then the one after that, it happened again, you know. It's like, so Back to the Centre captured that generation of 18 to 30-year-olds, you know.
Yeah.
Back in the mid '80s, and yes, it was certainly bigger than the one that came before it, True for You, and then the one before that was Hard Station. So
yeah.
every second album kind of happened,
Yes.
and the other one kind of bubbled, you know.
Has there been huge fluctuations in terms of earnings then over the years and that?
Well, I mean, I have never been a household name, you know, outside Ireland. You know, I mean, my career has, I mean, I think the phrase is cult status. You know, I have an audience worldwide. I've played all over America, all over Australia, you know, all over Europe, and I can make tours pay for themselves and make money, but I've never been like a massive star everywhere.
Yeah.
And so I never had huge ups or huge downs. I kind of, you know, I always managed to sort of, I got lucky with my songs. That helped me a lot. Other people recording songs of mine at a time when there was big sales in the record business.
Yeah.
That was what was my pension, I suppose.
Who's recorded your songs?
Oh God, I've had about 80 covers. Well, the obvious ones would be Tina Turner, you know.
Yeah.
And Eric Clapton, Carole King, a song we wrote together. Bonnie Raitt recorded 4 or 5 songs of mine.
The 23 nights here was shocking, wasn't it? I mean, it was looking back on it, it seems Olympian in popularity and in scope.
Well, when it was put to me, I kind of said, "You must be mad," you know, by my agents and Peter, you know, and Peter Aiken. And but one of the things that kind of made it, I suppose, take on a life of its own was that I refused to publicise any of the guests who were going to be there on any of the nights.
Yeah.
For one good reason, for a start, because right up until it actually happened, you know, people kept changing the nights, you know, and all that. Can I change to, you know, this kind of thing? So we weren't sure. But I mean, there was a lot of guests who were coming, and I didn't want to be flogging the gigs on that basis. So nobody knew who was going to come any night. So like they'd come one night and Mark Knopfler would be there, like, you know, and then the word got around, oh, you know, who was there last night? And so the whole thing started to take on a kind of a momentum.
And did that inform the set down the?
Well, yeah. I mean, you know, the guests, like we worked out, you know, my band would play one or two of their songs, and then they'd join me in one of my songs, and then there was the whole difference between styles of music. Like we did six of the nights were just with me and on the trad musicians like that I've been playing with all through the 70s, like Andy Irvine, Donald Lunny, Liam O'Flynn, and so that had its own audience, and but I was surprised how it just kept on going, and as the month went on, it just built. So it was exhausting. I wouldn't do it again.
It's hard. It's almost hard to know where to go after that. As
well, you know, it was a really fun time in my life. You know, I had done an awful lot up to that. You know, I mean, we're talking 2002. That was, you know. So I mean, I'm 53 years a professional musician now, and probably 3 or 4 before that playing in front of people. So by the time Vicar Street come along, I'd had like 12 albums out, you know, and I'd been touring all over the world and all. So it seemed at the time like it was a kind of a, you know, but
testimonial.
Yeah, sort of thing, you know. But
you woke up the following morning and go,
where do I go from here? Yeah. I mean, I took a bit of a rest and all that, you know, but it was just a fun milestone, you know. Two, oh, 1, 2. They say the world is heading for a breakdown. No more safe ground anymore. Just one little slip, and we'd all be gone without a trace. But when I see your face, I just have to smile. Forget for a little while. What can I do? Smile. Live in the here and now. For me and for you. A long time ago, way back in the beginning, they thought the ending was getting near. But now we know that every time the darkness comes, that old morning sun will surely rise and smile, doing its thing in style. Whatever they say, yes, smile. We're only here a while, time ticking away. I could be just dreaming, but I say the grass looks greener when you smile, just for a little while. Forget what they say, smile.
I get it, I understand. It's hard to get up in the morning time. This 9 to 5, you know, in your life, feeding someone's dreams, which is on the side. I get it, I understand it. Weight on your shoulder got you on your knees. Air's getting thinner, but it's hard to breathe. It's no surprise that you lasted this long, all because you are enough. You are enough. Love yourself more. You are enough. You are enough. You are enough. Love yourself more. Yeah. You're a pretty flower in the concrete jungle. You hold so much power, but you choose to humble every effort, every lesson that you question, hopes the blessings. No need for stressing. We ain't all perfect. It's gonna take some practice. Maybe you should notice that it's you in focus. We ain't all perfect. It's gonna take some practice. Maybe you should notice that it's you in focus. You are enough. You are enough. Love yourself more. You are enough. You are enough. You are enough. Love yourself more. You're a pretty flower in the concrete jungle. You hold so much power, but you choose to humble every effort, every lesson that you question, helps the blessings. No need for stress. You are enough.
Because you've toured Ireland so
Yeah.
much, and because you've played every room
Yeah.
in the country, there aren't as many bands that would be as versatile as ye and as experienced as ye are
Well, that's what we're hoping it'll keep us going. Yeah.
in playing all the different rooms.
Yeah. And see what you're talking about there. That's how we can do the likes of the Ivy Gardens and stuff, because people down in some little village down in back of Cork somewhere or back of Kerry, because you've come to their little town or their little village, they kind of appreciate that.
Yeah.
So then when we're playing these likes of the Ivy Gardens, or we're doing 3 nights here in Vicar Street, they'll come up from the country to see these gigs, because that's what's kind of sustained us.
It's gas. I remember back in the 80s when the DJs, promoters would give DJ 100 quid. Why do I need to pay a band X amount? And it was very hard for bands to get work.
Yeah.
So we scaled everything down, and we done MTV Unplugged was kind of happening, and we jumped on that, and we did this Unplugged gig where it was just 2 acoustics, bass and drums, very simple, but it meant we could play these really small, intimate venues and still retain what we were doing. But I remember we were doing, the likes of the Drake and Sally Noggin and things, and we were slated by the music
People were saying
industry.
about cabaret bands.
They were going,
all the tour bands.
Aslan are gone all cabaret, they're playing cabaret venues. But hang on a minute, we were going in there, we were playing our own music, our own songs. And when we were going in, it was an Aslan gig. It wasn't a Dickie Rock or a Joe Dolan gig, But that sustained us through those
I remember
tough
playing
times.
a gig in Cork, right, in Kinsale, and we're sitting in the car park of the thing, counting the punters going in to save enough petrol to get home. That's how bad it got, during all that carry on, So
But you're able to remember that with a smile, like.
yeah, because it gives you character,
Yeah. You've a lot of stagecraft time behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of learning your trade, like, isn't it? It's a lot of.
But you know what it is? The longer you go at it, the less it's. The longer you go, the less you kind of have to do. Do you know what I mean? Because it's keeping it simple. Is the in songwriting, in everything, in every aspect of what we do. If you try and be complicated about it, we used to look at bands. They're trying to be clever, and they have all. Like I look at girls on some of the shows on the telly, and they haven't a note in their head, but they have every look and every little hand movement. You know what I mean? That if you turned off the volume, they'd be amazing. You know? But you know, you only learn that stuff by gigging and going out. Because when you're looking into the whites of people's eyes, so you have a song, you know, and you're playing it every night, and at the chorus of that song, everybody turns to their mate or goes out to the jacks. You're going to say, I don't think that chorus is working. Snaky feeling. So, you know, it teaches you how to be a songwriter and how to be an artist, how to be a singer and how to be a performer on stage.
You need to give the crowd what they want. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if we got all arty and we didn't do This Is a Crazy World or Too Late for Hallelujah, we didn't do them, people are going, what's wrong? And you get bands that purposely do that. Like those songs.
I can't understand that, you know.
Well, I think part of it is that, yeah, you have to give the audience what they want, but you have to give it to them in a way that they're not fully expecting.
Yeah.
Because then you as an act stay interested to them.
Well, that's how you, obviously you're going to have to, but if you've done that to all your songs, like we have a set, as Billy said, we have a super set we could go out and do every night of the week.
Yeah.
But that's songs that we've learned that are how to do them from doing all that. But if we did that every night, so we'd go mental.
Of course.
Apart from the audience going mental, we wouldn't be able to sustain it, you know, because it'd be horrible. So when you're doing the songs that he's talking about, you have to throw the other ones, the Frank's Vans and the songs that people wouldn't know, and that makes the whole thing interesting for us, and it keeps us, and when we're enjoying ourselves, hopefully the audience will.
I'll say something to you now, I wonder will you identify with it. I was asked recently, where do I feel at home?
Right.
And, you know, I have a fine house and I live with fine people.
Yeah.
And I've lived in a few different parts of the country and all that thing. And it was kind of a shock to me to realise that I feel at home on stage.
Yeah, the only time I feel alive is when I'm on stage. Honest to God.
The name Aslan is
Yeah.
taken from the
Chronicles of Narnia,
yeah
The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe.
The-
Aslan was the lion. He represented good against evil.
Right, go on.
Go on,
I was
keep
gonna-
going. Is that what you want?
So
And there's 5 letters in Aslan and there's 5 of us in the band.
Where did you get the name
Keep
from?
going. No. It's also a Turkish word for lion. If you go to Turkey, you'll see Aslan all over. No, I'm answering all his questions.
No, you know what? I haven't answered this one. So I knew it was the lion,
Yeah.
and I knew that the lion, kind of, when C.S. Lewis was writing it, represented kind of a Christ figure.
Yeah.
What inspiration does the name still provide for ye?
Aslan. Oh, God.
We picked a great name. That's it.
See, when we were picking that name, Tommy,
Yeah,
the hardest thing to do is pick a name for a band. It's a really hard thing to do. So we had all these bands, orchestral manoeuvres in the dark,
Light a big fire.
kick the dog up the arse.
Yeah.
All these,
Toy with rhythm. Yeah.
so we
all
were
them.
saying, look, you know, this is very complicated, you know. So we wanted something concise, you know, something that something that would have that people would recognise, you know. What I mean?
something that meant something.
So that's where the whole Aslan thing, and to me, that the whole Chronicles of Narnia thing, just that whole thing about going into your wardrobe and into a different world and stuff. So we thought, coming with Aslan, we'd bring them to something else that they weren't used to in their everyday life, you know. So.
Hope that answers your question. It's also a Turkish word for lion.
That's great.
You may find yourself lost and confused, and everything that's ever happened has happened to you. You're a stranger, no one knows your face. You're out on your own, you have fallen from grace. Nothing really matters when you don't know what to say. And all the hate you thought was gone is coming back to stay. But I'm on your side. You may find yourself out of control. Does it feel kinda nice when you've scars on your soul? There's a stranger plays with
says he's your friend 'cause you're one of a kind. Nothing really matters when you don't know what to say. And all the hate you thought was gone is coming back to stay. But I'm on your side when it feels like a river's running out of water and you're left high and dry. Everybody wants to put you in the corner, but I'm on your side. I'm on your side. I'm on your side when you're sitting in your little corner. When it feels like the river's running out of water and you're left high and dry. Everybody wants to push you in the corner, but I'm on your side. I'm on your side. I'm on your side. I'm on your side.